So I'm delighted to be joined by Simon Lee now, who is the director at Maynard Design Consultancy. They've been shortlisted in one category with their client Wimbledon in the best wayfinding or signage category. So I'm really excited to find out a little bit more about that. But I think first of all, I'd like to find out a bit about Maynard Design Consultancy. So can you tell me about who the consultancy are, how long they've been going, and what you kind of specialise in as well?
Yep, so we are a small multidisciplinary practice. We're based in London, but we have studios in Australia and New Zealand. We specialise in wayfinding design, products, graphics, user experience. We've been going for about 15 years now, and we work in a variety of sectors, from transport, public realm, to events like Wimbledon.
Fantastic. And I think moving on to Wimbledon, I think what made it such a fascinating project was the fact it was for such a high-profile client. So could you tell me about some of the work that you did for them and the thinking behind the creative decisions?
Yes, I must admit it was probably a career highlight for me, because not only as a tennis fan, but the fact that when you think of tennis, you think of Wimbledon. You know, it's one of the most iconic brands, I think, in the sporting world. So it was quite a lot of pressure to translate that brand into the actual physical signage and wayfinding across their grounds. Our role was to really first evaluate how people move throughout Wimbledon during the championships, the 2-week championships, and understand where the opportunities were to improve the whole guest experience from a wayfinding perspective. And Wimbledon being seen as the sort of the top Grand Slam in the world, they are always looking to push the boundaries, always wanting to improve their guest experience. So it was really, to use a sporting analogy, it's almost the fine margins, the small gains that you can find. So we spent a year looking at that, interviewing, speaking to guests, speaking to staff, collecting all that evidence, and then turning that into an actual design, which was a creative sort of wayfinding signage piece, not just for the grounds itself, but also for the main show courts. So last year it included Centre Court, which was the centenary celebration of Centre Court, and this year we're also looking at number 1 court as well.
Well, fantastic. And I think sometimes for clients, results can sort of be the be-all and end-all for them. So could you tell me about some of the positive results Wimbledon saw as a result of your work?
Yeah, I think results, I would say there are 2 results. The first one is the fact that this new signage system was installed last year, but when you walk around during the championships, it's almost as though they've been there for many years, because they're so integrated into the landscape and the architecture. So from our perspective and from the client's perspective, that was a real win. But in terms of the, I guess, the quantitative results, we were fortunate enough to do a before and after survey with guests to look at the actual improvement in guest experience. And prior to this system, the guest experience for wayfinding was about 74%. After the implementation, it was 92%. You know, which from a wayfinding perspective and for 1 year, that's quite a significant change. And what's refreshing about Wimbledon as a client is that they want to do more. They want to keep improving that. So it's about getting to that 100%, because, you know, great isn't good enough for them. And I think their motto is, you know, it's in pursuit of excellence, which is what we, and greatness, which is what we want to do with the wayfinding.
Absolutely. Well, it was a fantastic project, and I look forward to seeing how you get on tonight. So best of luck.
Thanks very much.